Good evening. Reflecting on what has propelled us to this moment, I consider the questions we've been asked since the beginning of our education journey. For so much of our lives, we are asked, what? From what do you want to be when you grow up, to what classes are you taking in high school, to what are you doing after high school? And we are expected and willed to have an answer. I want us to reframe our thinking. In addition to asking what, let's remember to ask why. We are each built and molded and emboldened by our passions, our whys. They drive us. Instead of looking for singular answers to what, I want us to take the time to discover our whys. This is not an existentialist plea, rather I call on all of us to continue to be curious. Let us be led not only by the answers we know about ourselves, but also by the path of discovery. Why did we all attend this school? Well, that's easy, because of where we live. But we each and individually shaped our experiences here at Warde by our passions. If you were to ask the person next to you about their Warde experience, you might ask, what sport did you play? What club were you a part of? What classes and electives did you take? And from these questions, you would have a SparkNotes understanding of the person before you. But you wouldn't truly know them. Why did you play the sport you did, spending 2+ extra hours in this building, more than what was required? Why did you choose that club when you could have gone home? Why did you think that class was worth your time? These whys shaped our Warde experience, who we are and who we will become. Ask these questions and we become more than a plot line. We become a story. To ask these questions is to never stop growing. A large part of our high school experience was not defined by being in Warde's building. I'm referring, of course, to our time online, when school was defined by mute buttons and shared screens. When the time came this past fall for us to enter Warde as school leaders, the transition was not natural. We had lost time, our natural progression had faltered. But as was required of us, we stepped up. We became captains of sports teams, led and started clubs, read the Pledge of Allegiance during homeroom, stood up at Board of Ed meetings. We were section leaders, anchored Warde TV, pioneered anti-hate programs, designed shirts worn all over our community, and many other acts of leaderships, big and small, acknowledged and not. Why? For each other. Our leadership as a class was a product of dedication to this community and to ourselves. Looking at everyone in this crowd today, I see a group of students who knew this day would come. I am also reminded of a member of this class for whom this day did not come. We faced the loss of a friend, a member of this class, one that saddens us and made us question. And from a devastating low, we supported each other. We mobilized community efforts. We continue to remind each other that while turmoil is inevitable, its ascent iniquitous, it is not indelible. Why? Because our community means something to us. Why? Because we know we can't fix all problems, but neither can we ignore them. Why? Because we know that through the tumult of the past years, every single person in this class has had their lows and needed a smile. And we worked to create a culture to spread those smiles, a culture of kindness. In a few hours, years, minutes, you might not remember most of what I said as your class speaker, but I do hope you remember this. You hold the power to design the life you want to lead, and it begins with discovering your whys. The poet Mary Oliver has a wonderful quote that asks, "What is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" I ask us that today. And why? Design the wild and precious life you want to lead with your passions. Lead and love and live fiercely with your passions, your whys. Lead with curiosity. Lead with kindness and compassion. Lead with fear and lead in spite of it. Lead for yourself, lead to help others, lead and explore. Cheer and root for each other and cheer and root for yourself. And never stop asking questions. Why? So we never stop growing. Congratulations to the class of 2022. Wishing you all the best of luck and joy in all of your journeys ahead. Thank you.